3 minutes left. A past loved one is reaching out with something they never said in life. Don't miss this. The veil is thinning, and heaven is stirring. A sacred window of time, brief and burning, is opening before you. Only 3 minutes, divinely appointed, spiritually measured. This moment isn't random. It's not accidental. It's prophetic. Something has shifted in the unseen realm, and the time of return is now upon you. A voice, long silent and buried beneath years of grief and memory, is awakening. Archangel Michael stands as the appointed guardian over this threshold. He does not come lightly. He does not speak unless commanded by the Most High. His sword pierces the realms between the living and the departed, and in this holy instant, he comes bearing a message that time itself tried to silence. Not all are meant to hear this. Not all are ready to receive. This word, this final unsaid truth, was not entrusted to ears of doubt or lips of disbelief. It is for you. You who have wept in silence. You who have wondered what was never said. You who have felt their presence brush past you like a whisper in the dark. You are the one. They waited. They've watched. But until now, they could not speak. This is no ordinary moment. This is a spiritual appointment. The loved one who passed, their spirit is breaking rank, piercing protocol, and reaching through divine layers to deliver what was once unspeakable. They were kept from telling you before. The time wasn't right. Your soul was not ready. The earth was too noisy, and heaven too silent. But now stillness has finally aligned with divine timing. Stillness is the signal. Silence is the key. Spiritual readiness is the door. Heaven is watching as this moment unfolds. The Holy Spirit hovers. The angels lean close. The very second you lay eyes on these words is no accident. It is a heavenly trigger point. A divine confirmation. A sacred interruption. The question is not whether. The message is real. The question is, will you be still enough to receive it? The hour is now. The silence is breaking. The heavens are reaching. And your spirit is about to remember what your mind tried to forget. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 333 is now being released over you. By the time this video ends, you will not be the same. This is not coincidence. This is not entertainment. This is sacred ground. A supernatural appointment has been scheduled in eternity and delivered into your timeline, right here, right now. You have been chosen to receive a message from beyond the veil, one that defies the limits of death and reaches into the trembling chambers of your spirit. Archangel Michael hath been released with divine urgency. He comes not in thunder, but in still fire, not in noise, but in unmistakable clarity. His voice shakes the heavens and silences the doubts that have lived rent-free in your mind. He is the defender of the throne, the commander of holy legions, and the one heaven trusts to carry messages that must not be interrupted. He stands at your side now, sword drawn, light blazing, declaring over you, this moment is not to be missed. There are only 3 minutes. Just 3. 3 minutes in which everything that was buried may be uncovered. 3 minutes in which what was never spoken can finally be released. Time tried to run out, but grace overruled the clock. A soul, long departed, is now breaking formation, interrupting the order of things, reaching toward you, not in body, but in spirit, with something they tried, oh how they tried, to say in life, but time failed them. Their lips never formed the words. Their eyes tried to tell you, but your grief couldn't read them. Their heart wanted to scream it, but the weight of life's unfinished chapters made it impossible. But now, heaven says the hour has come. And if you feel the chills climbing up your spine, if you feel the tears welling from nowhere, if you feel a sense of sacred mystery sweeping into the room, it's because you're not alone anymore. You're being enveloped in something ancient, something holy, something too powerful for logic to explain. But hear this with trembling ears and open heart. You only have 3 minutes. Honor them. Don't rush past this. Don't scroll away. Don't dismiss this as another coincidence in your feed. Heaven never wastes a window, and this window, has been preserved just for you. Not everyone will hear. Not everyone will understand. And that is as it should be. Because this message is not for skeptics. It is for the chosen. It is for the soul who has waited, wept, and wondered. It is for the one who knows there was something left unsaid. It is for the one who has sensed a presence in the middle of the night, who has felt the subtle touch of an unseen hand, who has cried into the pillow wishing just once they could hear their voice again. This is that moment. Their spirit is reaching across dimensions. Yes, they've interrupted time. Yes, they've defied the silence. Because love does not obey the rules of death. Love rewrites them. And now, this spirit, this loved one, is stepping into your now. They are not angry. They are not trapped. But they are urgent. They have waited long enough. The ache of their silence has echoed through your life, shaped your memories, and haunted the things you couldn't say. But what they couldn't say then they are desperate to say now. Let your heart open. Let your resistance fall. This is not the time for logic. It is the time for surrender. Surrender your distractions. Surrender your doubt. Surrender the belief that this message is for someone else. Because it isn't. It's for you. And I must tell you this with deep seriousness. If you ignore this, the ache will remain. If you deny it, the longing will continue. If you dismiss it, the unanswered questions will keep circling your spirit. You have been visited in dreams. You felt the chill in the room. You sensed the heaviness you couldn't explain. And now, the heavens are breaking protocol, so this soul can finally speak. This is not superstition. This is divine orchestration. There is no turning back after this. Once this word enters your heart, it will stir something that cannot be silenced again. Something sacred. Something unfinished. Something destined. So whisper this under your breath, I receive. I am ready. And as the heavens bear witness and Archangel Michael stands at your side, the voice of the one you thought you lost is about to echo through time and find its resting place in you. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. You felt it, haven't you? That strange pull in the middle of the night. The dream that shook you awake but vanished before you could explain it. The whisper of a presence in the room that no one else could feel. The sudden chill when there's no breeze. The deep sighs that escape your lips, uninvited, when you're alone. These are not tricks of the mind. They are spiritual signatures, sacred clues left behind by a soul still circling your life, waiting for the right moment to speak the words time had no room for. That moment is now. What you thought was coincidence, it wasn't. What you thought was your imagination, it wasn't. These were signs, signals, flickers of memory mingled with the supernatural. Their energy hasn't left. Their message was buried with them, but not silenced. The grave may have taken their voice, but it could not take their truth. And now, that truth is beginning to break through. You've carried the weight of what was unsaid, perhaps without even realizing it. That unfinished conversation. That one final hug that never came. The look in their eyes that said more than their words ever could. They wanted to say something before they crossed over, but death moved faster than their lips, and so it remained, suspended in the space between your world and theirs. But here's what you must understand, that silence was not the end. That silence was a seed planted in your soul, now blooming under divine light. You've wrestled with unexplainable grief, not just because they passed, but because something remained undone. Their absence triggered more than sadness. It opened a mystery, a rift in your emotional timeline that no logic could close. Why now? Why like that? Why them? And just when you tried to bury the questions under routine, their spirit started visiting. Not with words, not yet, but with impressions. The smell of their old cologne, the flicker of lights when you think of them, a song that plays exactly when you needed it. Your tears are not random. Your moves are not irrational. Your sensitivity has a sacred cause. This is emotional disruption born from divine interference. The kind of disruption heaven allows when it's time to awaken the sleeping parts of your spirit. Because now, they must speak. They've trying for years. But interference is spiritual, generational, and emotional, stood in the way. Others may have blocked it, through their disbelief, through unresolved drama, or through their own guilt. Not everyone wanted the truth to reach you. Some feared what would happen if you heard it. Others simply weren't able to carry it. But you have been spiritually marked for this unveiling. You have the ears to hear what was never spoken. You have the heart strong enough to hold the message. This isn't just emotion. This is prophecy knocking on your ribs. This isn't grief. It's revelation in disguise. You are being drawn into something eternal. And the tears in your eyes are the evidence that your spirit already knows what your mind is only beginning to understand. Let them fall. Let them speak. Let them cleanse the space inside you where their words will land. They are close now. They are closer than they've ever been. And if you still your soul long enough, you'll feel them right beside you. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Subscribe now to receive more divine messages, powerful revelations, and real-time prophetic insight. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. This pain, this ache in your chest, this tension that's lingered in the corners of your life, it was never random. Heaven wastes nothing, and your sorrow has not been in vain. What you experienced was not just loss. It was preparation, a sacred forging, a divine test. The silence that followed their passing wasn't punishment, it was protection. You were not ready to carry the weight of what they wanted to say. Your soul had not yet reached the maturity needed to interpret their message through a divine lens. If it had reached you too soon, you would have crumbled beneath it. You would have doubted yourself, mistrusted the divine, or missed the weight of its sacred timing. But now your spirit is ripened through fire. You've been broken and rebuilt. You've wept and still stood. And that's how heaven knew you're ready now. Here's something you must know. Your silence wasn't neglect. It wasn't abandonment. It was a divine pause, an intentional delay. Sometimes the truth must wait until the vessel can carry it. Sometimes the answer must hide until the heart can bear it. And your heart, it hath been softened, stretched, and expanded for this very moment. You were never being ignored. You were being watched, studied, prepared. They saw what you did. They knew this message would be your awakening. But heaven held it back until now. You have been under spiritual surveillance. Not in fear, in love. The divine realm has monitored your pain, your prayers, your dreams. And when the appointed hour arrived, they moved. The conflict you endured, the delayed closure, the unanswered questions, the broken family lines, they were all markers leading to this one truth. You were chosen to carry their untold legacy. No one else. Just you. There is a sacred burden being handed to you. Not as a weight to break you, but as an honor to reveal you. You are becoming the living voice of what they never got to say. And it's not just for you. It's for others. Your obedience to this message will ripple through timelines, break generational chains, and awaken spiritual heirs yet unborn. This is legacy in motion. This is divine justice rewriting bloodlines. What was hidden is being revealed. What was suppressed is breaking the surface. And now, what once wounded you will empower you. Your silence is becoming your strength. Your absence is becoming your fire. Their unfinished words are becoming your divine assignment. The pain you carried was proof that the message was real, and heaven chose you to deliver it. Type "I am light" in the comments if this message has pierced your spirit. Blessing code 1717 is surrounding your heart now. There are moments when heaven leans in closer. Moments when the unseen becomes undeniable. Moments when prophecy crosses the threshold of time and demands your attention. That moment is now. In the next 72 hours, you will not only feel this word, you will witness it. The silence that has lingered like fog around your soul is about to crack. The void you've carried is not empty. It's full of a message that has been waiting for divine alignment to be heard. This message is not merely symbolic. It will manifest. You will see it. You will hear it. You will feel it. It will come in symbols, in signs, in unexpected interruptions to your routine. Watch for the birds. Watch for the sudden scent of something that reminds you of them. A perfume, a flower, the unmistakable hint of their favorite meal drifting into your awareness from nowhere. Listen to the lyrics in that random song on the radio. Notice the stranger who suddenly speaks a phrase they once used. Don't dismiss it. These are not accidents. These are spiritual confirmations, encoded by heaven, delivered straight into your path. They are trying to say what they never could. And this is their final attempt. The veil is paper thin right now. The spiritual atmosphere is active, volatile, and vibrating with urgency. But with that urgency comes a warning. You must not be spiritually asleep when the moment comes. Distraction is the enemy. Busyness is the thief. The spirit of interference, both earthly and demonic, is still circling, hoping you miss it again. Hoping your heart stays dull, your ears stay closed, your life too cluttered to notice the divine reaching into your ordinary. If you are not awake, you will miss it. And this time, it will not return. This is their final try. They have pushed through spiritual dimensions. They have cried before the throne. They have pleaded for the right moment to be granted. And the divine counsel, in perfect wisdom, has said, now, you must be alert. You must be ready. Because when it happens, it will seem so subtle, so fragile, that you'll be tempted to doubt it. The message may not shout. It may whisper. It may come in the form of a dream, a conversation, a sudden memory that grips your chest and floods your eyes with tears. It may feel so personal that you question your own sanity. But listen to me, it is real. It is them. And they are depending on your readiness. You have to clear the space around your spirit. You have to prepare your environment. You must treat the next 72 hours like sacred ground, because the message will arrive, and if your heart is open, it will change everything. This is the tipping point, the collision of heaven's timing and your soul's readiness. The shift is not coming later. It's coming now. Not someday, but today. Not in theory, but in reality. Do not allow doubt to rob you. Do not let your phone, your schedule, your surroundings drown out the most important communication you may ever receive from the other side. The enemy knows how close you are, and every delay, every confusion, every distraction is engineered to keep your eyes off the signs. But not this time, because now you've been warned, and now you've been awakened. Now, you know, the voice that once could not reach you is about to speak again. And when it does, it will unlock what's been hidden, restore what was lost, and reveal what was buried with them. They are not just visiting. They are delivering. What they couldn't say then is on its way now. Type "I will listen" in the comments to seal this moment. Blessing code 2020 has now been placed over your next 72 hours. You are stepping into a spiritual atmosphere that is unlike any you've known before. The space around you is now being consecrated, not by your doing, but by the order of heaven. You are being positioned for a supernatural encounter, and with that comes a divine instruction. Withdraw from the noise. Your spirit cannot receive what it cannot hear. And what is coming, what is whispering on the edges of your reality, is soft. It is sacred. It will not fight with the world for your attention. It will not shout over chaos. It will not echo through distraction. If you want to hear it, you must make room. This means creating stillness. This means entering silence as if it were a temple. This means treating the next few days as a spiritual fast, not from food, but from frenzy, from everything that keeps your soul running when it should be resting. Because their voice, the one that has lingered just beyond reach, will only come when you are quiet enough to welcome it. Pray. Listen. Observe. Begin to tune your spirit like a frequency, waiting for the faintest signal from a realm just beyond your sight. Begin your mornings in prayer, not the rushed kind, but the surrendered kind. Speak this aloud, and mean it. I am ready to receive what was hidden. I open the door to divine memory. I honor the message of the one who loved me. Protect your space. Light a candle in their honor. Cleanse your room, not just physically, but spiritually. Anoint your space with peace. Declare that this is sacred ground, and no other energy, no other voice, no other interference is welcome here. This is not superstition. This is preparation. The spiritual realm is sensitive. It responds to posture, to intention, to reverence. Use declarations before you sleep. Only what is from the light may visit me. Only what is divine may speak. Speak protection over your dreams. Ask Archangel Michael to stand guard at the doorway of your soul while you rest. Ask him to be the filter, the sword, the shield. Nothing ugly and nothing deceptive, nothing falls me into. And when the voice comes, whether in a dream or in the space between sleep and waking, you will know. It will not bring fear. It will bring recognition. It will bring clarity. It will bring peace that doesn't make sense, and yet somehow heals places you forgot were broken. This is not a time to ask for signs. The signs are already moving toward you. This is a time to clear the path for their arrival. Let silence become your sanctuary. Let your stillness become the invitation. They waited long enough. The words are ready. The truth is near. And your obedience to create space will be what allows it to land. You are not defenseless. You are not alone. Archangel Michael walks with you. Heaven surrounds you. And the message is coming. Let every distraction fall. Let every intrusion be silenced. This moment is holy. Let it come. Type "I receive the message" in the comments to activate your spiritual covering. Lesson code 4044 is now flowing over your environment. You are not the same person who stood in that moment of loss. When they left this world, something in you shattered, but something else in you awakened. That awakening has not been in vain. You didn't just survive the silence, you grew through it. You evolved through it. You have wept your way into wisdom. You have groaned your way into greatness. The egg did not destroy you, it baptized you. And now, your soul is standing at the edge of something holy. You've changed, not because you wanted to, but because the silence demanded it. You didn't ask for this mantle. You didn't chase this calling. But it found you, through pain, through unanswered prayers, through the gaping void left behind by someone you never imagined living without. And though you tried to carry on as if nothing happened, the truth is everything changed. And that's exactly what heaven intended. Their voice may have gone quiet, but their faith in you never stopped speaking. They see you now, clearly, completely, and eternally. No longer from Earth's limited view, but from a heavenly perspective. They see your strength. They see your survival. They see the fire that you carried through the darkest nights. And now, they are declaring this over you. You are ready. You are more than ready. This moment is no longer about mourning. This is not about reliving the past. This is about rising in power. It's about stepping into the assignment their life and their love began, and you now continue. Their message wasn't only an echo of what was, it is a commissioning for what is to come. You carry their legacy, not in memory alone, but in divine motion. It moves through your hands, through your words, through your choices. This is more than comfort. This is empowerment. You were forged in fire. And nothing they endured, nothing they spoke, nothing they withheld hath been wasted. Even their silence, even the unsaid, has become your fuel. You are the proof that death cannot cancel destiny. You are the evidence that pain can produce purpose. You are becoming what they always hoped you'd be, and more. Let the fire speak now. You are the living fulfillment of what they dreamed, prayed, and wept for. They may not have said it then, but they saw it. And now you feel it, that stirring in your spirit, that divine alignment pulling you higher, calling you forward. This is their anointing, now resting on your shoulders. This is their blessing, now burning through your blood. You are walking in what they died believing would one day come. They didn't leave you with emptiness. They left you with inheritance. Your life is not just a continuation of time. It's a continuation of prophecy. You are not alone in this mission. The heavens are watching. The angels are moving. The winds of change are behind you. And the words they could never speak in life are now the power that moves through you in spirit. You are their voice now. You are their legacy now. You are the fire that death could not extinguish. Type "I am rising" in the comments if this word is igniting your soul. Blessing code 5555 is now releasing strength through your body. What they couldn't say is about your future, The truth that remained lodged in their spirit, the words that trembled on their tongue but never found the light, were never just about their past. No, the revelation that has waited all this time to be released is a word about you, about who you are, about who you are becoming, about what is destined to unfold in your life, now that the heavens have deemed you ready. They saw something in you, even when you didn't. They saw your potential, your spiritual depth, your sacred fire. They saw how you loved, how you listened, how you carried pain with dignity. They watched you, not just in life, but in the spirit after they crossed. And what they saw confirmed the truth they were never able to express. You are the continuation of their unfinished prophecy. You were never just their child. You were never just their friend. You were never just a witness to their passing. You are their divine successor. Their message wasn't just a confession. It was a commission. It wasn't just something they needed to release. It was something you were born to carry. This revelation must shake you. It must burn away the lie that you've been forgotten or overlooked. Because you have not been overlooked. You have been preserved. Preserved for this moment. Protected in the silence. Hidden in plain sight while heaven formed the calling that is now unfolding. You see, their death wasn't just an ending. It was divine alignment. Their departure opened the portal to your emergence. Your absence created the space for your assignment. What felt like tragedy was actually timing. What seemed like a cruel silence was a sacred setup. And now the pain becomes the portal. The sorrow becomes the stage. The wound becomes the womb for something glorious to be birthed through you. The blessing they carried in their bloodline, the message they could not complete, now sits in your hands. They were the seed. You are the harvest. And this revelation must become your fire. You must hold it with reverence. You must speak it with courage. You must live it with conviction. Because your life from this moment forward is not a continuation of grief. It is the activation of destiny. This is your next assignment. And this is not just for you. This is for others. Your obedience will unlock healing for people you haven't met yet. Your story will release light into darkness. Your revelation will break generational silence that's lasted far too long. You are no longer waiting for permission. You've been chosen. You've been awakened. You've been called. And the one who crossed over, they know it. They've seen it. They've stood in the courts of heaven and testified that when the one eye couldn't tell, they're ready now. The weight of their unspoken words now becomes your supernatural momentum. Do not hesitate. Do not question. Do not shrink. Step into the fullness. The blessing is waiting, but it won't release until your spirit says yes, until you recognize that you were never left behind. You were being prepared. This is your moment. This is their message. And this is your revelation. If this word is confirming what you've been sensing, consider supporting the channel with a super thanks. Even a gift of $20 makes a real difference. It helps us continue to bring content like this straight from the Spirit. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Subscribe now for prophetic guidance, spiritual teaching, and timely words that align with your journey. You are part of this divine family. Type I am the prophecy in the comments to receive your next level assignment. Blessing code 8080 is now unfolding over your path. Speak it now. Say it with your spirit wide open. I receive the legacy of light. You are no longer the mourner. You are the messenger. You are no longer just the one who loved and lost. You are the one who now lives with divine assignment ignited beneath your skin. Everything has changed. Everything has shifted. And now, action is required. Because revelation without activation is wasted glory. You heard their voice stir through silence. You felt their message approach like waves in your chest, swelling with power. You know, beyond thought, beyond logic, that they've reached across realms for this moment. And now that you've received their unspoken words, heaven is watching to see. What will you do with it? This is not the season for spiritual passivity. This is your divine turning point. Your spirit has been awakened by loss, but now it must move through obedience. The message that reached you was not just to comfort. It was to commission. That means there's a response heaven is waiting for. The gift you've received carries weight. It holds healing. It holds answers. And now, it must be released through your action. Write. Record. Speak. Create. Move. The message must not sit dormant. Your voice lives now through your movement. You must carry it forward. It doesn't matter how small the first step is. What matters is your response. Begin where you are. You don't need to have all the answers. You only need to say yes. When you act in alignment with heaven's timing, you unlock a supernatural wind behind your life. Things shift faster. Doors open smoother. The things that once seemed impossible begin to unravel with ease, because obedience creates acceleration. You won't need to strive. You won't need to hustle. All you need to do is move with the word you've received. That loved one who passed, they trusted you with this. And heaven trusts you, too. They see how sacredly you've held this moment. They see how your heart has opened. They see how you've wept, not only because you missed them, but because you finally heard what they were trying to say all along. Now, your next act becomes your offering. Your obedience becomes your altar. Every time you speak that truth, write that vision, or share your healing, you are stepping into divine alignment. And with each step, you are fulfilling what they could not. You are extending their voice. You are walking out the prophecy that was planted in their spirit and now lives in yours. This is not pressure. This is privilege. You have become the living response to their silence. A living redemption of what death tried to steal. You are walking proof that legacy cannot be buried. Destiny cannot be denied. Heaven doesn't make mistakes, and you were not randomly chosen. You were divinely appointed. You are not carrying this alone. As you move, angelic forces move with you. As you speak, spiritual barriers break for others. As you act, your life becomes the vessel heaven pours through. This is not just your breakthrough. It is your becoming. So speak it again, louder this time. I receive the legacy of light. Let the declaration echo through your home. Let it rearrange your relationships. Let it break generational chains. Let it rewrite your story. Your obedience is the final key. Heaven is watching. Your loved one is near. And your next move could shift more than you know. Type ISAYYES in the comments to confirm your obedience. Blessing code 1221 has now opened a divine door of action in your life. There is a silence that is not empty. It is full of divine movement. There is a stillness that is not idle. It is pregnant with spiritual exchange. And as your soul begins to respond, as your obedience begins to move in the physical world, a sacred exchange begins in the spirit realm. This exchange does not come with fanfare. It does not come with fireworks. It comes in the form of soft weeping, a sudden peace, a strange comfort that makes no earthly sense. And if you're feeling that now, let me assure you, heaven is moving. This is where it becomes more than a message. This is where it becomes a transaction. As you surrender, fully, deeply, the grief you've carried, the regret you've swallowed, the words you never got to say, heaven begins to take what you release and replace it with something eternal. Divine clarity, spiritual peace, a holy sense of wholeness that can't be explained, only felt. Your loved one has reached across time. They have made their way through dimensions of grace. And now, in the sacred space you've created, by listening, by responding, by choosing stillness, their message is delivered, and something shifts. This is the handoff. This is the moment they give what they've held. Not just their unspoken words, but their spiritual blessing. In life, they may have never found the words, but in the spirit, their voice is clear. And now, they place upon your soul the mantle they could not carry forward. You are now the keeper of the fire, the carrier of the scroll, the one chosen to walk out what death tried to bury, and heaven honors you for it. The angels have encircled you. Your room, your heart, your dreams are now a sanctuary for supernatural movement. What was broken is being restored. What was silenced is now echoing in the corridors of eternity. As you weep, know this, your tears are watering a garden in the spirit. These tears are not for sadness. They are the sound of transformation. Heaven is not watching you cry in sorrow. Heaven is watching you bloom in divine exchange. The restlessness you feel, that sudden anxiety that rises then vanishes, that's not fear. That's activation. It is your spirit preparing to walk differently. It is your body adjusting to what your soul has now received. It is the vibration of legacy taking root. Your sleep will feel different. Your thoughts will begin to shift. You'll begin to speak things you never studied. You'll feel stronger yet softer, bolder yet more peaceful, because you've been changed. You've been entrusted. You've been marked by this message. And while others may not understand, that's okay. They weren't meant to carry this. You were. Now, rest in this truth. Nothing was lost. Nothing they wanted to say was wasted. Everything they couldn't express, heaven preserved. And you have now received. The handoff has happened. You are no longer just grieving. You are glowing. And what comes next is the unfolding of glory. Type I receive the exchange in the comments if you can feel the shift. Blessing code 1010 is now wrapping your life in divine fullness. There are moments when the scales in heaven begin to tip. When what was delayed is no longer denied. When the cries of those silenced in life become thunder in the courts of the Spirit. And beloved, that moment, that holy reversal, has begun for you. The one who passed, the one who carried a truth too heavy to speak, they were not just trying to reach you with words. They were trying to reach you with justice. Because not everything that happened was right. Not everything that transpired around their passing was pure. There were forces that moved against them. People who twisted the truth. Systems that stifled their voice. And still, they carried on, loving, protecting, preserving. But their soul knew that one day, the truth would surface. One day, divine reversal would be triggered. One day, justice would be served. That day is now. You have been chosen not just as a vessel for their message, but as a witness to their vindication. Heaven is moving on their behalf. The silencing of their voice on earth did not stop the sound of their cry before the throne of God. Your spirit has been heard, and now what was hidden will be revealed. What was twisted will be straightened. What was delayed will be released. Those who dismissed their words, those who denied their worth, will begin to feel the pressure of heaven's correction. Not out of vengeance, but out of justice. Divine law is not like human law. It is not swayed by manipulation or fear. It is rooted in truth, and it does not forget. You have also been part of that justice. You who carried the pain. You who felt the confusion, the guilt, the frustration of not knowing what they truly wanted to say. That weight, too, is being lifted. The heavens are declaring, you were not wrong. You were not crazy. You were not imagining it. The conflict, the heaviness, the unease, it was spiritual. You were sensing what your mind couldn't explain. And now, the truth is aligning. You have been used by heaven to break the generational silence. You are the one who heard what others ignored. You are the one who held space when others walked away. And now, because of your faithfulness, a divine reversal is being released, not only for you, but for your bloodline. Their message is going to heal more than your heart. It's going to heal your lineage. It's going to shift the patterns. It's going to expose the lies. What they carried in silence is now becoming your weapon of light. What was their pain is now your power. What was their wound is now your weapon of truth. This is the kind of justice that heaven delights in. Not to shame, but to restore. Not to punish, but to purify. And yes, there will be people who sense the shift. Some will come to you in confession. Others will fall into silence, unable to resist the weight of what's coming. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to prove anything. Heaven is your advocate now. The angels are testifying on your behalf. The Spirit of truth is moving ahead of you. Everything that was stolen, peace, understanding, healing, is coming back to you multiplied. And more than that, a new clarity will rest upon your life. You'll begin to see with sharper eyes, discern more deeply, hear with a sense of divine confidence, because the one who tried to speak through their life has now spoken through your obedience, and in doing so, heaven has honored them through you. You have become the justice. You have become the light. You have become the restoration. Let your soul rest in this truth. Nothing was lost. All is being restored. If this journey has revealed something sacred in your spirit, and you feel led to support, consider sending a super thanks. Even a $5 gift goes a long way in helping us bring more content from the realm of spirit to yours. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Subscribe today to stay connected to more prophetic insight, spiritual teaching, and heaven-sent messages that speak directly to your journey. Type I am the justice in the comments to activate divine restoration. Blessing code 1919 is now enforcing spiritual law in your favor. You were meant to hear this now, not a moment sooner, not a second later. Heaven's timing is flawless. Divine revelation doesn't arrive on your clock. It arrives on God's calendar. And this message, this sacred unveiling, has come into your life right on schedule. You have carried the ache. You have felt the tension. You have lived between questions and quiet, between what you felt in your spirit and what the world told you wasn't real. But now, the silence is over. The veil has lifted. The unseen has spoken. And the one you thought you lost has found their voice again, through you. Feel that peace flooding your chest. It's not just relief. That is the evidence of a spiritual transaction, completed. That is the signature of heaven confirming, yes, you received it. Yes, you heard it. Yes, you are the chosen one. They didn't just reach out for closure. They reached out for continuation. They chose you to carry what time could not hold. What they could never speak with their mouth, they have now whispered into your soul. And it is done. The handoff has been made. The legacy is secured. The truth has found its voice. You are seen. You are sealed. You are supported in spirit. You are no longer wandering through grief. You are now walking in glory. There is a quiet strength rising in you, a still power that refuses to be shaken. It doesn't matter what comes next, because now, you know who walks with you. Now, you know who stands behind you. Now, you know what is flowing through you. Rise, beloved. Rise with a steady heart and lifted hands. Rise with clarity, with confidence, with fire. You've been marked by a moment that no one can take from you. You've been changed by a truth that no one can argue with. You've been filled with a love that death could not cancel. To walk boldly into what comes next. There will still be hard days, but they won't shake you the same. There will still be questions, but they won't haunt you the same. Because now you carry the answer. You carry the light. You carry the blessing. Take a breath and let this truth settle deep. You are not alone. You never were. And you never will be again. What was never said is now yours to speak. What was never healed is now yours to redeem. What was never understood is now yours to carry forward. Your voice lives on, and it echoes through your obedience. You become their continuation, their release, their redemption. This is the power of spiritual inheritance. This is the fulfillment of divine appointment. The 3 minutes are up, and everything has changed. Type IT is done in the comments to close the prophetic cycle. Blessing code 3030 is now sealing your spirit with peace and purpose.